Okay, we're dealing with average rate of change, and I've put up an example. I put the days of the month in March of and it can be any retailer. I put a shoe retailer, and the amount of money they received from shoe sales. Okay, and so I put, 1 would be March 1st, the 3rd would be March 3rd, the 10th would be March 10th. Okay, and 200 represents the number of dollars that they received from their shoe sales for that particular day. So on the 1st, they received $200. On the 15th, they received $300. What we want to try to determine is the average rate of change. So if I were to ask you, what was the average rate of change between the 1st and the 3rd of the month? We're looking at these two. So remember your slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. X's are our inputs and y are our outputs. So since the amount of dollars that we received is our output, that's going to go on top. Okay, so I'm going to put 300 minus 200. 300 minus 200. Okay, all over, and my x's are 3 minus 2. Well, 300 minus 200 is 100. So that'll give me 100 divided by 3 minus 2, excuse me, should have been 1. I'm sorry. Should have been 1, 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 gives me 2. 100 divided by 2 gives me 50. So my slope between those 2 days, or my average rate of change, is 50. But what does that really mean? And you want to be specific on this. This means that between the 1st of March and the 3rd of March, the average increase in shoe sales is $50 per day. Okay? There was $100 over the span of 2 days, so that's $50 in 1 day was our increase. Now, if we wanted to take this same problem, and instead of me asking what the average rate of change was between the 1st to the 3rd, what if I asked you the 3rd to the 10th? So let's do that one. Again, our outputs go on top. This would be 265 minus 300. On the bottom would be my inputs. That's 10 minus 3. So 265 minus 300 is 35. 35 over 10 minus 3 is 7. Excuse me, this one should be a negative 35. Okay, 265 minus 300 should be negative 35. Negative 35 divided by 7 is negative 5. Now I'll ask you for the practical meaning on that as well. Negative 5, what that represents is from the 3rd to the 5th, they went down in sales $5 every day. So every day, they sold negative $5. Every day they went down $5 every single day between the 3rd and the 10th. Okay? The sales went negative during that time. They just didn't sell as much. They started selling less. Maybe they didn't have a sale or something. All right, last one I want to look at is, I may ask you as well, what was the average rate of change between the 3rd and the 15th? So let's look at that. Again, we're dealing with our outputs. So I've got 300 minus 300 all over 15 minus 3. 15 minus 3, let's see, that gives, well, let's do the top first. 300 minus 300 is 0. 15 minus 3 gives me 12. 0 divided by anything is 0. Now the practical meaning on that one is that there was no change in sales between the 3rd and the 15th. If we look right here, the dollar amount collected was the exact same. It's $300 for both days. So there is no change. Okay? There wasn't any average rate of change, or the slope on it was 0.